Welcome to the tutorial for the pattern and repetition art piece. To start off, we'll gather our supplies. You will need 2 full pieces of paper, 2 different colors, so I have green and yellow. You will also need an assortment of other colored paper. Scrap paper works fine. This one has something cut out of it, but for our project today, that doesn't matter. You will also need a pair of scissors. You will need some sort of glue. I'm going to use a glue stick today. You will need a pencil. You will definitely need a ruler. And you could also, at the end, use some felts to add some extra pattern at the very end of your project. All right, let's get started. So I think that I'm going to use my yellow paper as my base. So I'm just going to take that piece and I'm just going to set it aside for now. I won't be needing that for quite some time. The next step is to use a ruler and to draw 3 parallel lines on your other full piece of paper. Now, I've already drawn 2 lines. I'm going to draw 1 more using my ruler. The lines need to be parallel or an equal distance from the long edge of your sheet. They should be 5 centimeters wide. So I measured out, that one's 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters. And what I did is I actually marked on the edges of my page. I measured down 5 centimeters there, and then I also made a mark 5 centimeters down on that side so that when I go to connect those lines, I know that I will have a line parallel to the one before. There we go, just like that. Let's get that off the table. There we go. So there we have it. The next step is to cut those out. And those pieces are going to actually be our pattern strip bases. Now with the other pieces of paper, the other colors that you have, you're just going to cut out a bunch of different shapes. So I have maybe some small little rectangles out of my red. Maybe I'll cut some triangles out of my orange. And they don't have to be perfect. But have fun, cut out a few shapes that you would like to work with. The one thing is that these shapes need to be able to fit onto your pattern strip base. So make sure you don't make anything too big. It should fit inside of that pattern strip somehow. So those look good. I think I'll create some small blue squares, or close to being squares. Like I said, they don't have to be exact. And maybe I'll make some balloon-shaped pieces out of this really pretty purple. You can do whatever shape you like. It's entirely up to you. That might be fun to have some like that. Using the small pieces and one of your pattern-based strips, create some sort of pattern. Now remember, a pattern is when you have something repeating. So 1 orange triangle, 1 red rectangle, 1 orange triangle, 1 red rectangle. This is a repeating pattern. It's a pretty simple one. I like the way that the orange and the red really pop off of the green. That's because orange and red are warm colors and green is a cool color, so warm colors tend to pop out. Once you have a pattern that you're happy with, you can glue it down. Glue stick works really good for this. Not much mess. Now, I'm doing this very quickly. But if you want to do a really good job of getting glue on every single corner of your shapes, they will stick to the paper much better. My first pattern strip. Now your next step is to create another pattern strip exactly the same as the first one. This is step 8. So I'm going to take those 2, tuck them kind of off the top there, I'll just move that one right out of the way. Now this one needs to be different. I'm going to use maybe some of my other shapes that I haven't used yet. And I want this one to be a little more complicated too. So maybe if I, yeah, let me think here. Maybe some of my purple balloons would look cool. That looks perfect. Notice this is quite a bit more complicated than this first pattern that I did. But you can do it however you want, as long as you have a pattern that repeats. So then last major step is to take your base. Remember the base from way back at the beginning? And we're going to glue our patterns onto our base, but we're going to glue them on in a pattern. I'm going to put the last one I did right in the middle. And then I'm going to have one on either side. So I have a pattern not only in each strip, but I have a repeating pattern this way as well. So it starts with that pattern, goes to this pattern next, then it goes back to that pattern. So if I had another one of these, I could keep going down below here. And that space actually that's showing from the base in between our pattern strips, that's actually called negative space. It's the space in a piece of artwork that is not the subject. So if our pattern is the subject, all of this yellow showing from underneath is negative space. Now you could leave it just like that if you want, or maybe you want to add a bit more pattern. So you could take your felts and you could add some patterns in between in the negative space. So maybe a blue star, and then a purple squiggle, another blue star, purple squiggle. Now if you want to get very complex with your patterns, you could do something a little more complicated. Instead of having a repeating pattern, you could have an increasing or a decreasing pattern. So for example, if I had a gray square and then one orange circle, then maybe I have a gray square, two gray squares, sorry, and then two orange circles, and then maybe I have three orange squares, and then I have three orange circles. So it's a similar pattern idea, but it's increasing every time. Two, three, four, five. Oh dear, can I fit those five in? Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The most important last step is to sign your beautiful work. You could use your initials, you could sign your full name. Usually sign in the bottom right-hand corner of a piece of artwork, and I like to use my initials. I hope you enjoyed creating your pattern and repetition art piece and that you've made a piece of art that you are proud of.